The nanoblade's awakening wasn't subtle. One moment, the galaxy was enjoying its usual assortment of existential crises. Economic collapses, minor civil wars, someone losing a moon again, and then a whole star system simply folded into glitter. Not exploded, not collapsed, glittered, as in sparkly cosmic dust drifting across nearby trade lanes like someone had smashed a disco ball the size of Jupiter. The Galactic Nanoblade had returned, and apparently it wanted attention. Alien astronomers sounded alarms before they finished screaming. Empires scrambled their fleets. Holy orders declared 3 different apocalypses, all of them equally inconvenient. But the Nanoblade didn't care about anyone's scheduling conflicts. It carved through the first star system, then the next, slicing planets like fruit on a cutting board. Entire worlds vanished with the smug efficiency of a cosmic paper shredder. No one knew who built the Nanoblade or why. Some claimed it was a failed superweapon from an extinct species. Others believed it was the universe's attempt at pest control. Most blamed humans outright, because statistically that's a safe bet. What everyone agreed on, however, was that the Nanoblade was unstoppable. Its shimmering swarm of microscopic blades shredded shields, hulls, gravity wells, anything that dared to exist within its path. Fleets deployed their strongest weapons, their bravest soldiers, their most annoyingly optimistic diplomats. None returned. One diplomat's last transmission was a single word: nope. By the time the swarm consumed its 3rd star system, the galaxy entered official meltdown mode. Emergency sessions were called. Treaties were drafted solely to allow species who hated each other to panic together. Entire planets practiced mutual despair drills, which mostly involved lying on the ground and whimpering. The Galactic Council even hired consultants, which shows you how truly dire things have become. All simulations agreed the Nanoblade would reach Sol within days. Aliens calculated impact time down to the millisecond. They traded predictions like doomsday sports bets. Many packed their belongings and fled in whatever direction wasn't toward Earth. The galaxy had seen humanity fight before. They had no desire to witness what humans might do when cornered by a stellar guillotine. Meanwhile, on Earth, humanity reacted with its signature blend of confusion and mild irritation. News broadcasts warned of an unstoppable, all-consuming nano-weapon barreling toward the planet. Most people assumed it was a new movie trailer. Those who believed it complained loudly about the timing. The Nanoblade chose to arrive on a weekday during commuting hours. Productivity dropped solely because civilization-ending threats do not come with paid leave. Scientists worked overtime without sleeping. Engineers pulled out notebooks filled with scribbles titled "Do Not Attempt" and began attempting all of them. Governments issued calm public statements while privately screaming into pillows. But even with all the chaos, humans exhibited their usual brand of stubborn optimism, an unwavering belief that even the worst cosmic disaster could be solved with enough creativity, caffeine, and a lack of respect for physics. The aliens watched in disbelief as Earth prepared, not with sacred relics or final prayers, but with brainstorming sessions, improvised laboratories, and arguments over who forgot to restock the snacks. To the rest of the galaxy, humanity looked woefully unprepared. But humans had an advantage no other species possessed: absolute faith that somewhere, somehow, among their millions of questionable ideas, one incredibly stupid solution might actually work. And history would prove them right. Humanity's plan began the same way all great human plans begin, with an argument in a cramped conference room where no one had slept, half the lights were flickering, and someone had stolen the last donut. Scientists, engineers, military strategists, and that one guy from accounting who kept showing up to meetings uninvited all stared at projections of the Galactic Nanoblade devouring the cosmos. Every advanced idea, quantum inversion cannons, dark energy vacuums, reality braiders, failed in simulation within seconds. The Nanoblade sliced through them as easily as it sliced through everything else. It wasn't until an exhausted engineer named Mara casually muttered, "Honestly, The only thing that ever stops a disaster around here is duct tape. That the room fell silent. Not thoughtful silence. The horrified silence people experience when someone has just said something profoundly stupid, and deep down everyone knows it might actually be brilliant. The simulations began before anyone could stop them. Ordinary duct tape failed. Reinforced duct tape lasted 0.3 seconds longer. Space-hardened duct tape infused with carbon thread adhesives and a coating used in thermal engine shielding. Suddenly, the nanoblade hesitated. Not much, barely a flicker, but enough for the humans to collectively lean forward, squint, and whisper, "Hold on, run that again." They did. Hundreds of times. Every test showed the same microscopic anomaly. Something about the adhesive's unpredictable molecular bonding made the nanoblade's perfectly structured blades stumble for a fraction of a nanosecond. For other species, a fraction of a nanosecond meant nothing. For humans, it meant opportunity. Immediately, workshops across Earth transformed into chaos factories. Factories repurposed assembly lines overnight. Entire industries paused to manufacture what would become the largest strip of reinforced duct tape in the history of bad decisions. It was miles wide, kilometers long, coated in materials not approved by any safety board, and radiated an energy signature that caused 3 alien observers to faint. The galaxy watched live broadcasts in stunned silence. Humanity was taping space, literally taping it. A giant strip stretched between orbital platforms like someone was patching a hole in the universe. Alien commentators debated whether this was metaphorical, symbolic, or simply the final proof that humans were a danger to themselves and others. Behind the scenes, tension rose. The nanoblade was moving faster than projected, as if eager to see what the humans were doing. It carved its way into the system with the excited frenzy of a weapon convinced that nothing could stop it. And truly, why would it think otherwise? It had consumed stars, worlds, fleets. What threat could a shiny gray strip of adhesive possibly pose? Earth's orbital defenses shut down out of necessity, clearing a direct path between the nanoblade and the duct tape. Human ships retreated to safe distances but kept cameras ready. Someone suggested adding dramatic music to the broadcast. Someone else did. As the swarm approached, the reinforced duct tape glimmered under solar light, glowing with stubborn metallic confidence. Sensors buzzed. Alarms blared. Humanity held its breath. The nanoblade hit the tape and stuck. Not slowed. Not resisted. Just stuck. Completely immobilized, its microscopic blades tangled, fused, caught in the absurd molecular chaos of reinforced duct tape. A weapon of perfect precision defeated by a material so humble that humans routinely used it to fix broken furniture and seal boxes during poorly organized moves. For 6 full minutes, no one spoke anywhere in the galaxy. Then humanity collectively exhaled. Some cheered. Some sobbed. One engineer fainted, revived, then fainted again. Aliens, on the other hand, began experiencing a universal crisis of faith. Entire philosophies collapsed. Technological doctrines rewrote themselves. One species declared duct tape a cosmic abomination and requested asylum from it. In that moment, all doubts vanished. Duct tape had saved the galaxy, and the aliens were never going to emotionally recover. The galaxy needed time to process what had just happened. Unfortunately, the galaxy did not get that time, because humanity, in all its triumphant enthusiasm, immediately began celebrating, monetizing, and industrializing the victory before alien civilizations had even finished rebooting their trauma responses. The nanoblade, once feared as the most unstoppable weapon in known history, now drifted motionless in orbit, wrapped in an ever-so-slightly crinkled cocoon of reinforced duct tape. It looked less like a cosmic menace and more like an interstellar package awaiting shipment. Humans took pictures, posted them, memed them. Within hours, #TapeTheBlade was trending on 18 planets and would remain so for years. Alien governments, meanwhile, scrambled to contain the psychological fallout. Several species filed diplomatic complaints claiming that humanity had violated basic principles of universal proportionality, which was bureaucratic language for, "You weren't supposed to win like that." Others demanded to know who authorized humans to deploy gray-tier adhesive weaponry without a multi-galactic environmental review. Humanity politely ignored all of this because it was busy setting up a mobile gift shop on the nearest orbital platform. As for the nanoblade, scientists from across the galaxy were granted limited access to study it, under human supervision, of course. They poked it, scanned it, analyzed the adhesive's chemical structure, and tried to understand how material used by humans to fix squeaky car doors could immobilize a cosmic superweapon. Their conclusions varied from "physics is lying to us" to "we should have stayed in bed forever." The more they studied, the worse it got. One species attempted to cut a micro-sample free for research, but the duct tape simply stretched, refused to tear, and then snapped back into place with a smug little flap that echoed across the chamber. 3 scientists resigned on the spot. In emergency convocation, the Galactic Council drafted what would become the most reluctantly written legal document in history, the Class Omega Adhesive Prohibition Act. Duct tape, in all its forms, standard, reinforced, glow-in-the-dark, festive holiday print, was officially declared a forbidden weapon. Possession required a license. Transport required military escort. Using it in warfare was punishable by sanctions so severe one ambassador referred to them as existential timeout. Humanity responded with a diplomatic statement that read, in full, "Understood." The subtext, however, was widely interpreted as, "by some while supplies last." Demand skyrocketed. Alien merchants begged to purchase even a fraction of a roll. Black markets emerged overnight, trading duct tape at prices usually reserved for rare minerals or spiritual relics. Humanity watched all this unfold with an expression best described as, "We didn't plan this, but we absolutely aren't complaining." Meanwhile, Earth's tourism industry exploded. Entire spaceport terminals were redesigned to funnel visitors toward the Nanoblade observation deck, complete with guided tours, holographic documentaries, and a snack bar selling blade-stuck bites. Influencers from distant star clusters live-streamed themselves posing with the immobilized weapon, often giving it pep talks like, "You'll get him next time, buddy," which never failed to make alien officials wince. But beneath all the humor and horror, one undeniable truth settled across the galaxy. Humanity had done the impossible again. Not with overwhelming power. Not with ancient forbidden technology. Not with divine intervention. With duct tape. A material so mundane it existed in junk drawers, glove compartments, and garages across Earth. Alien philosophers rewrote doctrines. Military strategists adjusted threat assessments. Cultural historians tried, and failed, to explain why humans consistently solved galaxy-breaking problems with solutions normally found at home improvement stores. And children across hundreds of worlds grew up speaking of duct tape with a reverence once reserved for mythical swords. For humanity, it was just another Tuesday. For the galaxy, it was a permanent entry in the encyclopedia of traumatic lessons learned. Never underestimate a species whose first response to a cosmic crisis is, "Hand me the tape."